What's going on, my guy?
What's up, buddy?
Not much, bro.
Let's see. I man, I saw some clips of all that UFC all the UFC bouts tonight.
Yes, sir. Wild
Yeah,
shit, huh?
I see that, man. One of my friends called me and was bringing up was it Tyson Nam?
Yeah, dude, that dude's fucking right hand was nasty.
Yeah, it was pretty. I saw those were the first highlights I saw.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yes,
He's a
sir.
beast. What's the deal with him, man? Is he new to the scene?
Is he new to the scene? No, I think he's actually been around for a while. He was on a two-fight losing streak, so if he didn't win
Oh
this one,
shit.
he was about to get booted,
Yeah,
bro.
about to get cut.
But
Shit, man. He fought his ass off.
yes, sir. He won that fight in like, I don't know, less than a minute. It was like 30 seconds or something. I have it right here. 32 seconds. Yeah.
32. Nice.
Nasty counter right hand. Yeah, the dude Zaruk, I think was his opponent's last name. He threw a
I
nasty ass
forget.
body kick and then fucking Nam countered with that right, dude, and put him out. 32 seconds.
That's crazy. My friend was surprised how many UFC bots are coming out right now, especially with these new closed doors events. So he was surprised. So I told him about it. He was like, "Man, I didn't even know UFC had this much stuff going on." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "They got the bankroll." I was like, "And they're doing it at Apex. They did this one at Apex, right?"
Yeah, they did.
That's
They've done the
crazy, dude.
last three or four, I believe. No,
Nice.
this is the
Yeah, it had
second
to be
one.
three.
Yeah, it's like the last. Yeah,
This
it's
is the
like three or
third one,
four.
right? Yeah. It's too many to keep track of.
For real, dude. They're
Boxing
just
is starting to do. I mean, Top Rank is. I think they have an event coming on the 16th and then the 18th. So they're trying to put them out like hotcakes, man. UFC
yeah.
is the one that's really opening up that platform.
Bro, they're just pumping them out. They're trying to get everybody their fights on their deals, man. So building the
I
Apex
know.
really helped them
I
out.
know. Hey, listen, that's a good thing for fighters, man. Honestly, in my opinion, I think with this COVID situation and the quarantine and the closed door events, you're going to see a lot more exposure for more guys in the fight game, boxing or MMA, doesn't matter. And they're going to be spotlighted because I mean it's all televised. Everything is through, well, not just televised, but streaming. Every streaming platform. So you're going to get to see these guys up close and personal instead of having to go to these live events. And let's say if that was your boy or someone you knew, you know what I mean? Like you don't have
Exactly.
to do that now. So guys are getting more opportunities to say the least.
For sure. I totally agree with you, man.
So who
And
who was the standout tonight?
standout tonight, Marab, man. It was the
Really?
main event of the prelims. He set his new personal best takedowns at 13, man. The one before it was 12.
That was the guy you talked about yesterday. Well, no, the day before yesterday. Was it
Yes, sir.
yesterday?
I
Yeah,
believe
it
it
was
was.
yesterday. Yeah, you called the fight. You
Yeah,
did.
I
You
did
called
call
it
the fight.
exactly. You're good.
Hey,
You
man, I
should
do
get
what I
into
can.
commentating.
I'm, that's what I'm trying to. Maybe
Can
one day,
we
bro.
can we
Let's
do
start it.
this live while we watch? I mean, can that can happen, right?
Yeah, dude.
This is my question. How do I simultaneously do this and put this on my IG story to fucking promote? Because we
I'm,
need
pr-
more viewers.
I'm pretty sure you could just here.
That's all right. Fuck it. We'll just stick to YouTubing this stuff too.
I mean, I can send it to. Fuck, dude. Can I add you as a moderator or some shit somehow? Is that
We're
possible?
learning. We're learning as we go.
Let's find out. Um, shit. I don't think so. Or
That's all
no,
right.
I
No,
do think so. I know I can direct. I can send it as a direct message to people,
that's fine.
but that's about all I can do. I don't know how to fucking get more people up in here. Wait, if I send it to you, you can send it to people. So I just send
Can
it
I?
to you. Yeah, so I just send it to you. See what else I can think of. Because I agree, we should get more people in here.
You there?
Yeah, I mean, are you there?
Yeah, mine's frozen.
Oh
Give me a
shit.
second. That was my bad.
Oh, you're all
Yeah, you
good, bro.
sent me the request and I clicked on it and obviously I exited, but fuck it. We'll figure that out later.
For sure.
So what?
Uh,
Main event. I didn't know the main event was a female card.
no, it was, but of the prelims, that was
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
see, this is why I gotta see, like I said, I need to get the streaming platform and like there's just way too much that I gotta keep track of. So you're my go-to. You're my go-to for all UFC.
I got you, dude. I got the time.
So what, man? What would you smoke to the fights, man? I know you like to smoke and get that clear vision. And isn't it crazy though? I know you know. Maybe I don't even bring this up. Maybe I do. But when did you discover that watching fighting was better when you were stoned?
Probably when I was like 19, right when I started smoking, dude. Probably when I was like 19.
That's crazy. What
Yeah,
don't you aren't you able to really depict the fights and break them down and obviously really see and pay attention to what's going on when you're on that in that zone in that level?
yeah. It's kind of like slow mo, honestly.
Slow, yeah, yeah.
It's like
It could
personal
be.
slow mo.
I remember the first time
Definitely
I
way
did
more
that. I was
focused.
yeah, way more focused, and you kind of understand the nuances, even if you weren't uh, an experienced, let's say, fight fan or an experienced fighter. It's just a weird take, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I
Totally
tell you
different.
what, I wouldn't be able to do it. You, it's one thing to watch it, but it's one thing to fight or spar and be in that level. It's not. It can't be the same though, because sometimes you're a little too slow, and then at the same time, you know what you're doing because your mind's working properly. You're thinking. You're a little more methodical, but physically you're not there. So
Right.
I would highly suggest people to not go in the gym and spar while you're stoned. Only do that when you watch.
For
That's a public service announcement.
real.
I know this from personal experience.
Hey,
So
bro.
shit, man.
Go ahead.
What?
How do you
Go ahead.
feel? How do you feel like the crowd affects the fighters? Do you think it has a big effect on them, or
Well, from the clips that I saw of the UFC bouts that they've had at Apex and then the Top Rank event, um, man, you know, it could be good for certain fighters. I know there's a lot of fighters that would rather it be quiet and listen to their coaches and can take direction better. Uh, but there's a lot of fighters that need the energy of the crowd to really come out and come out of their shell. And sometimes, you know, I'm about to make my pro debut as a professional, but I haven't fought in any professional event, so I don't know the crowd scenario when it comes to paid crowds and attendances. But in amateur bouts, I mean, USA boxing, from my own experience, you know, it can be pretty decent crowds, and you can definitely feel the pressure. It's nowhere near, you know, these multiple thousand people crowds that you see in pro events, whether it's boxing or UFC. And uh, as an amateur, when I fought with crowds, it definitely made me perform better personally. Shit, even sparring, even when I'm at the gyms, whether it was at uh, Mayweather's gym or any other gym, small or big, and you had a sparring session and you had a little crowd watching you, man, I always felt the need to not only perform well, but not make any mistakes. So I'm always on my P's and Q's. So I think it can go 50-50. You know, it's something you have to ask every fighter personally. Obviously, you have no choice in this current time and place with all the COVID restrictions and these closed door events. But it's something that I'd like to ask, you know, each fighter that I know that's active right now because it's about to change the game realistically. I mean, who knows how long it's going to be? I know we have all these, uh, you know, all these determining factors and predictions, and a lot of the predictions we've had and gone off of lately isn't as true as we want them to be. But who knows how long these COVID restrictions for fighting will be. Closed door events seem really could be really awkward at first, because it's so quiet when you're watching it. How do you feel about it as an avid fight fan? Speaking on behalf of people that truly like to watch UFC events and any MMA events like that on live stream or pay-per-view. Is it boring to you when it's quiet, or is it more exciting? Because you can hear the coaches, you can hear the team screaming at one another. It's almost like watching The Ultimate Fighter. It's the same thing. It's like watching The Ultimate Fighter. Remember those shows?
Yeah.
I haven't watched one in forever. I know that they still have them here and there, right?
Yeah, they're actually coming out with another season of it. They haven't for a while.
Dude,
But
the last Ultimate Fighter I watched was George St. Pierre's season, and that was it.
oh shit, yeah, that was a while ago.
But yeah, how do you feel about that as
That's
a fight
exactly
fan?
what I related to, man. I would. It's give and take, bro. It helps, definitely helps the fighter because they can hear the coaches better, and
Hmm.
we as fans, we can hear the coaches better too, which I personally think is
Yeah,
cool.
it's better to
Um,
understand
for
as
sure.
a fight fan, especially as a beginning fight fan.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Uh,
But see, this is my take, though, not to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
when we spar during pro sparring or any kind of preparation, I get annoyed when certain coaches in my corner or my cornermen start to yell and to say things to do and they repeat it. Well, it's one thing to constantly repeat it and batter this information into my head while I'm under pressure, while I'm trying to, do what you're telling me to do in front of this guy. But at the same time, you're not only telling the guy what I want to do, you're telling his corner what I want to do. And then at the same time, it's like there's no element of surprise at the end of the day. So why am I going to do what you're telling me what to do when you're screaming it at the top of your lungs? So some coaches need to understand with these live events, it could be detrimental. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
could be
it's
very detrimental.
totally agree with
It's
you, bro.
cool. It's cool to hear it as a fan watching in because you're like, oh shit, that's what he's telling me. That's what I'm telling him, and all this and that. You can learn off of it. But yeah, it's interesting, man. What do you think is going to happen with the way these events are? I mean, UFC obviously is the pioneer in this. I mean, they're the ones that broke ground on closed door events. Obviously, they had more at their disposal, more pool. I mean, with the Vegas Commission, and they have that huge facility. But I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to start doing live gates again anytime soon? Because from my understanding, um, as a pro and what I'm getting ready for, supposedly the next live gate uh, that I have to look forward to is sometime in July, late July and August.
Okay. Um,
And those are small crowds.
Gotcha. I think it's all depend based on each state, really. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
as
It's always going to be Nevada and California.
yeah, as stuff opens up, maybe, but it all depends on that shit, man. Sucks because I
Have you?
wish there were a gate, bro. I would go to a fight. I'd go to a
Yeah,
hockey game. I'd go shit. I'm down.
I know Vegas is dying for the hockey season to open back up, man. As soon as that team uh, came to Vegas, man, that was a whole different thing. Vegas became a, a united city, a sports city, man. The
Yeah, it's
fucking
crazy.
Golden Knights. That's crazy, dude. I didn't even realize it. I wasn't paying attention. And then when that whole situation happened, man, people that didn't watch hockey were avid hockey fans now.
Yeah, it's crazy how shit changes so fast, huh?
Man, have you been to one of those Golden Knights events?
I've been to a few, man. They're really fun.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen everyone post their stories, and man, it's crazy that that arena they're able to switch it up from being an ice rink to a main event boxing match within a day. Because I know that all of Canelo's matches are there. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
nuts. I can't even begin to fathom what it takes to do that, man. Vegas needs to come back because that there's no other entertainment city like it, man. And it really is realistic. It's going to come back so quickly. People are so worried about its economy and obviously the residents there. They feel it uh, firsthand, but as someone who's lived there and went to school there and obviously worked there and still have ties there, uh, dude, it's gonna come back quick. People will not resist the temptation once they have a live gate event. Doesn't matter what it is, what entertainment segment, whether it's a show or obviously a sporting event. Dude, there's gonna be no issues whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. I think that's really what's gonna bring people back is sporting events or a
Hmm.
concert or something like that. Like until something like that comes here, people aren't just gonna come to gamble. I don't think, because there's nothing else to do. The pools are open, but there's no pool.
I heard about
Clubs,
that. I heard that I saw a couple of news clips, news articles as well that a couple of day club pools are opening up.
they're starting too slowly, but I don't
Starting
think any
to,
of them
yeah.
are open yet.
Yeah, not yet, but I think they're aiming for like July or August. I know
Yeah.
that. And they're trying to get as much of the season as possible.
hmm Yeah, I
That's
think
gonna be
4th of
crazy.
July is the target.
What do you think about that, man? Are you gonna show up? Are
Uh, Quit my job and show up at the club, huh?
you gonna show up? Are you gonna show up in person
Hell
and
yeah, dude.
party?
Show up in a tank top and fucking shorts, bro. My
Do you
fucking
believe in
white
this
cloth,
COVID?
let's go.
Do you believe in this COVID resurgence?
I don't know, man. I'm 50-50 on that shit.
Yeah. You know what?
But
I'll admit, I'll have to sadly admit, I've always been 50-50 on it. I've fucked with all the memes and poke fun and have fun, but I've always been 50-50. Like probably the first couple of weeks of lockdown when I was still going to grocery stores picking up my essentials, I wasn't wearing a mask. I'll be honest with you.
yeah, I feel it.
I wasn't I
I
wasn't
don't always wear a mask either, bro. I don't always. But anyways,
but
there's another fight I want to talk about.
yeah, let's
It
talk
was
about it.
Marvin Vettori versus Carl Robertson, man.
Vettori, man, I saw him blow up after he choked the dude out, man. He got up and he had a lot of pent up energy inside, man. What is he? What weight class is he?
They're middleweights, so 185.
Dude, those are some big boys fighting at middleweight. Vittori's huge.
Yeah, Vettori is huge, man. He's
That's a
fought
big boy.
Adriel Adesanya already.
I'm guessing he obviously took a defeat, right?
Yeah, it was back in the day though that they hadn't fought while he was champion, so that's what he's trying to get. He's trying to get that rematch.
So what does this put Vittori on the rankings? Was this some kind of a eliminator?
He's unranked, man. So he was ranked, but he fell out.
Oh
So
shit.
he's working his way back up.
What's
But
his record
Robert's
right now?
his record, Vittori's record right now.
Yeah.
Let me find out. In 1 second.
I'm sure he's on a win streak, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like
Climbing back up.
pretty sure it's like 3 or 4, right? Fight win streak. Uh, let's see. His record is 14-4, and he has one draw.
That's not bad.
And
That's
he's
not
on
bad
a
in MMA.
2 fight win streak.
Two fight?
Three now.
Three? So that was his third. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he lost to Israel Adesanya, and then he fought some dude named Caesar Ferreira, and he won by decision. And then he fought another dude named Andrew Sanchez and won by decision. And then tonight he won by a first round submission. Rear
I
naked
saw some
choke.
highlight clips of him back, probably from one of his wins that he has on the streak. Uh, he's a standout for sure. I guarantee you his next fight will have something in regards to some kind of rank in that division, and then maybe by if he can lock in a fifth win in that streak, he'll probably get a number one contendership spot.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
UFC's pretty cool on that. They're pretty generous when it comes to giving guys their rightful title shots. I mean, dude, that's how these champions stay active, man.
Yep, for sure.
It's like an
Dana,
assembly line.
yeah, no doubt. I'm pretty sure Dana White was saying today that every title shot he has like signed right now is the number one contender fighting for it, which is cool.
There you go. There you go. So Vittori, man, I break down that fight because I only saw the ending. I only saw him lock in the submission.
Break it down. All right, let's see what's up. All right. So it's pretty even when the fight started. Pretty even with the hands, and then Vettori started getting the upper hand on that, and then he was able to get him to the ground,
Okay.
and then he attempted a guillotine, and then the dude Robertson actually like kind of did some weird ass jumping like thing onto the cage and tried to escape and roll out of it, but Vettori like his grip was tight as fuck, bro. He was in, so he got him to the ground, and then he escaped the guillotine, and then he got his back and just fucking brought him to the
Locked
ground,
it in.
choked him out. Yep.
That's good. Well,
It was
fuck.
over in
Hey,
like 40 seconds, bro. It's
nice.
quick.
Hey, does Mike Goldberg still commentate?
No, he doesn't commentate anymore, but he's a ring announcer for Bellator. I just
No
found that
way.
out. Yeah.
No fucking way. That's hilarious. Dude, that guy right there is man, what do you think about him as a commentator?
Mike Goldberg's a legend, man.
He's a legend.
He's a legend of fucking
Man,
commentating, man. For sure.
does wait, I know Rogan still does, right?
Yeah, he does the
So
pay-per-views for UFC.
so how'd they break up that team? That duo was money.
Yeah, they were money, man. I don't know what happened. After the Fox deal, I'm pretty sure he dipped out to Bellator.
Hey man, it's where the cheddar's at, I guess, for him at least.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because,
guess
no, go ahead, bro. I'll tell you after.
no, keep going, keep going.
I guess John McCarthy's over there announcing for Bellator. You remember
The
him?
ref? The
Yeah.
ref?
Yeah, the ref, bro.
That's crazy. Damn, McCarthy's doing big things.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
MMA, man. I'm telling you, dude, this is crazy. This is why I got to put you put me on this. 'Cause I have no clue. When you ask my MMA memory banks, it's like GSP, Anderson
GSP.
Silva. It's like the most recent, it's like Conor McGregor.
Hey, it's still pretty recent.
Oh, yeah, for real. For
But I'm
real.
with you
It
on
is.
GSP and Anderson Silva, man. Those are the
Those
fights
were
that
the
I
days.
remember. Yeah, and the Ultimate Fighter. Like,
Those were the days, man.
yes, sir.
Ultimate Fighter. Dude, Ultimate Fighter was the precursor to COVID. It was the fucking that's how fights are gonna who knew watching fucking Ultimate Fighter that that was the future.
Right.
Dana White's a fucking a legend, man.
He is, man. He
He
really is a
really, I
legend.
mean, dude, I think it was easy for him to get this going the way it is. He had the platform already. They could have had it at the old facility where they filmed the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
There was never any doubt. It's crazy. This is
Nothing.
nuts. This is as a professional boxer, I'll have to say that UFC, because of UFC, MMA is going to continually grow larger than boxing. Boxing is making a comeback for sure. I mean, with the platforms and with the accessibility, but man, UFC, Dana White was right from the moment everything started with these closed door events. He was saying that UFC does it differently, man. UFC is the first to do anything. Can't talk shit about UFC, man. Only thing you can
No.
talk shit about is how bad they pay the fighters, apparently.
I agree. That I agree with for sure, bro.
Hey, so what's the good with your jujitsu training, man?
My jujitsu training, it's going well, man.
You been going every day?
No, not every day. I didn't go today,
Nice.
but I
Got to
did
get
go
up. Well,
yesterday.
it's Saturday.
Yeah. So I'll
How
go
was
again on Monday. It was chill,
nice?
dude.
Are you gonna get the gi?
I got the gi.
Oh yeah, nice,
Got the gi,
nice,
man.
very nice. White belt.
Yeah, white belt.
Well, we'll be celebrating when you're at the blue belt
Yeah.
level soon.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to, man. That's when I'll start
So
like
what
trying to go ahead.
are you able to break down fights better now that you understand a little more jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I definitely notice it more.
How much more? More to the point where you can really predict the next transition on whatever position they are on the ground.
Not to that extent yet, but I notice like the moves that they are doing, or not the moves, but like the I don't know, the holds or the chokes or whatever. I understand what they are doing, but I just don't know what they're gonna do next yet. So that's the part that I'm trying to understand now.
This is what you got to tell the viewers who are watching on this in the future. Uh, as someone who's just starting fight training, doesn't matter what it is, jujitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, are you feeling more aggressive? Are you feeling more like you just, if someone fucked with you on the streets, you could just take them down?
No, no, it's actually the opposite, dude.
Right? It is.
Yeah, because you're
It
getting all that
is.
aggression out and all the adrenaline. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
getting all your endorphins are going
Yeah.
off. So
Oh
you're
yeah.
really not like yeah, you're getting a pump from it and you're getting hyped and you're enjoying it, but you're not
Yeah.
looking to go out and fight
Yeah. No,
after.
definitely.
I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's well, no, I mean, it's hard to say because as a kid, when your dad's putting you in these, for myself, when your dad's putting you in amateur boxing matches and competitions since you're a teenager, it almost becomes like, okay, this is what my dad wants me to do, and then you tend to enjoy it. I mean, a lot of kids when we were growing up, our dads put us in different sports, but training and all that, like it never really brought like an aggressive demeanor where it's like, oh, I go to school, I want to beat someone up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like now, you're an adult and you train, you want to beat someone up. I totally get it. How you say, it makes you less aggressive essentially when you're out in normal day-to-day stuff because you do take everything out on the mat or on in the gym.
Right.
Would you suggest it for anyone who hasn't trained yet?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Even if you just
absolutely.
take one class, it's totally worth it.
For real. At least you know something.
Yep.
I mean, here's one thing too. Wouldn't you agree that 99% of people uh, in society should at least get into a fight so then that 99% of society wouldn't act the way they do?
Yeah, they would
Wouldn't that change a person?
one, they wouldn't be so scared of confrontation,
Uh-huh.
and two, they would understand like what I guess like not only what the outcome is, but how to defend yourself and diffuse the situation
hmm
so you
hmm
don't have to get to
Yeah,
that level, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
basically the whole point of training is to avoid fighting, which is so weird to me.
It makes sense though.
It does. It's counterintuitive, I believe is the correct term.
Yeah. Well, that and you understand the consequences.
Yep, for sure.
You go out on the streets these days, like when I say streets, you just go out to, go out to a bar, go out to a restaurant, or go anywhere that people like to hang out. And uh, there's always high chances that someone's gonna try and mess with you out on the, out in public, or some kind of stupid thing happens. And I mean, first off, you get the police in any fight situation is even if you got to spend a night in jail, that's not even worth it. That's the shitty part at this point, because growing up in our generation, it's like you can hash it out through a fist fight. Parents really won't get pissed about it, and then it is what it is. But now there's really no way of kids doing that these days, especially with social media.
No, man, it's all talk shit. My
Things
parents
can
are gonna
get
sue
twisted
you.
too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Do you think that it's here's the big one. Do you think that because of the lack of confrontation and being able to hash things out the old school way, is it making the younger generation, I guess, more susceptible to feeling threatened,
Yeah, for sure.
mentally, verbally, or physically? Man, because
Absolutely.
I'll be honest, I nothing could bother me growing up. Everyone could talk shit. Fuck, we had MySpace at the time, and it was like people would talk shit to you on there. It wouldn't
Yeah.
even bother you. It wouldn't even bother me. I'd be like, this is stupid. The heck, this is all online.
Right.
Now, like things can get brutal online, man. It almost
Sure.
makes you not even want to fuck with social media.
Yeah, bro, you don't even want Twitter.
No, not even, not at all.
Let's see.
Oh man.
Is there
So, what,
anything
you read
else?
anything else outside of the fights today, man? Anything on current combat news or even just life and fucking general?
Mm,
I'm cooped up out here in the mountains, man.
nah, man, I don't know much going on, bro, except fights. And weed. I'm
And
fucking
weed.
stoned. I was to
What'd
answer
you
your
smoke?
question from earlier. It was Blue Frost, bro, from
Blue Frost. You just picked
Desert
that
Grown
up?
Farms out here in Vegas. Yeah, I
Ooh.
picked it up the other day. It was that
Shout
shit I
out,
sent you a video of.
shout out to all the Vegas dispensaries
Shit was nasty.
doing their thing.
Yes, sir.
So what, man? Fucking everyone's is Vegas opening up now? Because I know that they're doing like
Starting
phase
to.
one, right?
Yeah, they're doing phase one. More and more casinos are starting to open up. The link just opened up yesterday. So now I'm pretty sure Encore's open too. So Wynn, Encore, the
Damn.
Link, Caesars,
No way.
Flamingo,
What?
MGM, Mandalay Bay, and pretty much everything's open down there. But I don't know if people are actually going.
Huh. Interesting. I thought that as soon as they open the gates out in Vegas, man, there wouldn't be no any way of holding anyone back. But I guess we got people real tentative now.
Yeah, some people are shook, man.
It's hard. See, man, I gotta admit, when you're cooped up all the way out in the sticks and you don't have to really, I mean, first off, you don't ever see your neighbors, so it's like the contact with humans is so minimal that you stick to yourself. I mean, I'm in my own little bubble outside of my coaches and my training, but it was hard, watch. Social media is my only news platform when it comes to seeing what current events is, aside from going on news apps. But man, I thought that people being shook the way they did was just kind of like almost like a ha ha funny thing, like ha ha funny trend. I know that there's been a lot of deaths with COVID and all that, but it's crazy, man. I just don't get it. Like we said in the beginning, it was like 50-50, but now everything's starting to open back up, and I can't even wrap my head around Vegas' situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Uh, how about you, man? Fucking, what's the deal with your fucking place of employment, dude?
Oh,
Are
bro,
they
they're
they
open,
open
but
back up?
oh yeah, they're open, but your boy's not going back. So
Fuck them.
fuck 'em.
We don't we don't know why, but it's all good.
I'm not going
We're
back
not gonna.
yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting till the very end to tell him I quit.
You talk to any of the homies out there at work? Like
Uh,
any coworkers?
yeah, a few. They say it's
What are
still
they what
slow,
are they
so I'm
saying?
not. I'm not missing out on shit. So that's good.
Definitely not. Definitely
Yeah.
not, man. It's funny. I talked to my one of my friends, my good friends out there in Las Vegas. He used to work at the gym that I was a trainer at back in Summerlin.
Yeah.
It used to be called David Barton Gym,
Oh yeah,
and
over there in Tivoli, right?
yeah, in Tivoli, yeah, man, that's a cool little spot. That's usually the only place I go to when I visit, man. It's real chill. Nothing. You don't really get that strip scene, obviously, when you're out there because you're so far away from it. But yeah, anyway, I was talking to him, and he started like a small private business. It's a service business, and he was still active during the shutdowns and lockdowns. And he made a good point, man. He says with everything going on, whether it was with the government assistance with all the unemployment and the COVID fund and all that, uh, people are starting to realize that you can still make moves and actually work from home.
Right.
And I think with your mindset right now, as funny as it sounds, like, fuck that, I'm not going back, like all that shit. But I mean, it really comes down to the point where you realize you can work from home. I mean,
True.
isn't that the ultimate goal?
Absolutely. And if it's not, you're something's wrong.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not even the term work from home. It's not like you're sitting at home fucking on the computer doing that. Like it could be that or it could be something else, but like when you work from home, it's I think the term generalizes not having to go to a freaking office and clock
Exactly.
in or a
Yeah.
location and clock in. And I'll tell you what, I've seen 100 podcasts pop up, man. 100. Or just people wanted to chop it up and just talk about it. And what a time to be alive right now, man.
Oh yeah, dude. It's crazy.
This is crazy. This is nuts.
It is nuts. But hey, just there were three. The first three fights tonight, dude, were All TKOs or knockouts, and they were all under a minute. Every single one
So
of them.
so with you knowing the rosters better than me, obviously, remember what we brought up last time about how UFC doesn't quite match, do mismatches with their contenders coming up. Usually, once a contender or a top ranked fighter in that division comes onto the scene, he earned it because he didn't fight, nobody. He fought people that were at his level or even better. These fights being the quick uh, finishes that they were, do you think that this was UFC matching them with easy opponents, or the winners were the favorite in each match? What do you think?
To be honest, bro, I think it just has to do with the octagon because they're using a smaller one, so it's
How
forcing
much
people.
smaller?
It's 5 feet smaller, so I believe that's like 30%.
Jeez, wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And what did they disclose the reasoning for it being smaller? For the
No,
people that don't know that, obviously.
I don't know the reasoning, but I wonder if I can find out.
Yeah, definitely.
Why are they?
Yeah, a few people watching and you UFC fans that don't know, Robbie's the man because that's info that most people have to research. But who knows? Who knows what I'm saying? I'm just
Uh,
talking shit.
I don't know why they're using it, man. I think honestly, I think it's just because that's within the space. That's all it'll hold. I think that's
Mm,
my bad. I think that's the
that's crazy.
biggest cage
No, it's cool.
that they
That's
can fit in
nuts.
there.
That's crazy.
Definitely leads to more knockouts, though. It's so sick.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh, shit. That makes it more exciting.
way more
That's
exciting,
good
dude. It's way
info to
more fun.
know. Now you're really gonna see. Now that I'm gonna hold you to that. Robbie said it. You heard it. You're gonna get more knockouts.
More
Proof.
knockouts for sure.
Tonight was proof. You're gonna get
Hmm.
more knockouts and more crazy finishes due to the
It's
smaller
tight.
cage. Same thing in boxing. It's crazy because uh, a lot of the times, depending on who's the A side, who's the B side, who's promoter is the A side. Thing politics obviously essentially when it comes to making up these events, they can dictate the size of the ring, man. And some guys that are better boxers and got better, like Floyd Mayweather prefers bigger rings. Obviously, I mean I know everyone wants to hear that because he runs, but he's just an active boxer with active legs, and a guy like that prefers a larger ring, a 20 by 16, I believe. Yeah, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
then they give the knockout artists a smaller ring, especially when they're matching them up with a tomato can.
With the tomato can.
I'm telling you, dude.
Or a
Watch,
cab
see
driver.
our cab driver. Listen, here are the terms. Here are the terms, and they should be used in MMA too, man. But you got the tomato can, you got the cab driver, you got the cherry pickers. Now those are the great fighters that pick these tomato cans. But like, you ever went cherry picking? Like picking out each one. Yeah, it's the same thing, man. So those are the ones to watch for, the cherry pickers.
Hell yeah. Cherry picker.
The
That's funny shit,
tomato
man.
cans. I would say more, but it would get offensive because it can get silly. But yeah, those three terms. That's all you gotta know. Tomato cans and the fucking cab drivers, man. The reason why they give the cab driver situation is because when a lot of guys turn pro in the sport of boxing, especially Americans, as long as you got a good passport, you head down to Tijuana, you head down south of the border, and you fight in Tijuana. Dude,
Mm.
they have events twice a week sometimes. And most of the guys that are fighting there, they're locals. They're this will expose a little bit. So a lot of these guys you see coming up that are like 5-0, 6-0, 4-0, whatever you want to call it, 10-0. Sometimes, I mean, it's sad if they are at 10-0 and they're doing it. They're going down to Tijuana. Okay, they're fighting in Tijuana against a fighter with an established record. Could never an undefeated monster. I mean, there's really no one that's doing it. That's just chilling there. That's gonna take a bribe from these fighters' team. So whoever this undefeated prospect comes down will pay this cab driver because he's driving a cab in Tijuana, Mexico. I'm fucking serious, dude. I'm fucking dead serious. He's driving a cab. He's driving a fucking cab. And he's training probably 2-3 days a week. 2-3 days a week top. One of those days, he's fighting in a match. He's fighting in a, I shit you not. But these guys that are professionals, they claim that they're doing that. They're paying these cab drivers to get in the ring with them.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. Just as a tune-up fight.
You're as a not even tune-up. It would be a far cry to call it a tune-up. A tune-up is going against a guy who can give you rounds, who can actually give you a show, and will ultimately make you give the crowd a show. This is you're getting hand-fed a record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fun.
You know, and you'll start to see it. It's understandable with guys that are young, like really young prospects, whether they're American or international, that turn pro in their teens, you know, like 16, 17, 18, because you can turn pro 15 in Mexico. I don't think MMA is anywhere near that in that type of scenario whatsoever, because I know you get more experienced fighters coming out of, you know, the collegiate wrestling sectors. But in boxing, you can turn pro at 15 if you're willing to go to Mexico. And I understand, okay, you're some young teenager still in high school or graduating high school that's going to take pro fights, but fight these guys that are, I mean, you look at them in the ring and you go, what is he doing here?
Right.
Even my girl, who's rarely watches fighting, and I put up one of these prospect matches, and she goes, what the heck is this? She's like, why is this guy in the ring? This guy looks like he should be delivering pizzas. And I'm like, yeah, he probably does.
Right.
He probably really delivers pizzas in his cab because he's a cab driver. I want people to know, in both arenas of fight fans, that's what a cab driver is. And if your favorite fighter is still fighting cab drivers, I'm sorry to tell you, but he's considered a cab driver himself until he graduates. It's just like the amateurs. It's just like going up through the amateur systems, man. Junior boxing, you fight guys in your class. You fight guys that are, you know, when I say class, it's not just weight class. I mean skill level, your record level. I mean guys that can hold the light to you know, can really match. And when you turn pro, when you got to do that, that's what gives the distasteful way in boxing, dude. So MMA hopefully doesn't get to that. I know that there's some. You heard of Tough Enough out in Vegas?
Yeah, I haven't been to any of the fights though.
The
I
Tough
want to
Enough
go.
leagues, man. I got one of my friends back in from UNLV. We started talking recently online, you know, through text messages and just regular, you know, back and forth here and there. But he was a bodybuilder back when we were still in college, and I mean he still technically is. But for some reason he got an offer, got linked up with the right people, and got an offer to do a Tough Enough event. Hopefully when they open back up, I think August is their first event that they want to put out there in Vegas. I know they used to put them out in like the M Resort and those little venues. But yeah, he's a bodybuilder and he's trying to fight at 205.
Oh shit.
And you know the 205 division. That 205 division is no joke. Those are legitimate heavyweights, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
Those guys are tall, they're big, they're like an athletic heavyweight in the MMA game. So he's like asking me like what this, that. Like he was a high school wrestler. Shit, I'm not here to put out names because, you know, I'm not that petty, but or put anyone's business out there like that. You know, we're just conversating, unless we know the person, and you know, you know what it is, right? But you might have went to high school with this kid. I'm not even kidding. And we'll chat about it outside of being online. But but yeah, you probably went to high school with this kid. I think did you go to Palo?
Yeah, and some.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, we'll get to that later. yeah, so dude has wrestling experience, but not collegiate. Hasn't done jujitsu yet. You know, I'm not saying this to throw shade in his game. I'm just spitting facts here.
Right.
And you know, he's oh, I think he's like 26. Yeah, so he's mid late 20s. But I mean, dude, if you're gonna step into the cage on short notice like that, like when I say short notice, that you have not even a year to train.
Right.
But you know, it's a whole different animal, man. A lot of these collegiate wrestlers don't even turn pro in MMA or take any fights when they leave that collegiate system. I mean, I've heard guys in MMA that say that they've been in camp for like 2+ years just to even get ready to be able to be in a cage, not even the octagon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So this dude, my friend, says that he's got this event at 2:05. Like when he told me 2:05, he's like 5'11". He's like 5'11", but he's a legit bodybuilder. So I mean, dude's probably at like 240 right now.
Oh,
Can you imagine that? Like, listen,
fuck that,
I will
dude. You might as
promote
well
it.
just fight at heavyweight, man.
I will
Why? Like, why
promote it. I'm
not?
promoting it right now. I'm not saying it's a good
God
thing. I'm not
damn,
saying
bro.
it's a good thing, dude. When he came at me and asked me like, "Hey, what should I do?" Because
Not
he's
cut
like,
that weight, bro. Fuck
he
that.
wants to learn. Yeah. Well, so 205, dude.
Don't cut that
205.
weight, dog. If you're listening to this, dog, do not cut that weight.
Got it.
Just fight at heavyweight, man. Just take the heavier shots. It's not
But
worth the weight
but
cut.
listen, I'm even saying this. You First off,
Uh,
if you've got that build, you can't be in fighting. I'm not
no.
saying he can't, but there's just if you were 240 pounds, solid muscle bodybuilder, and you're 5'11", if you were 5'11", I think that the biggest weight class you can fight in would be like welterweight, would be
Yeah.
170, and would be 170 in MMA. There's no way you can cut 70 pounds. I mean, it would take you probably a year straight of not doing anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you, bro.
So whether or not he decides to cut to 205 or get a fight at heavyweight, I would recommend a fight at heavyweight. At least he'd have better chances because he wouldn't be absolutely destroyed when it came to weight cutting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. That weight
It'd
cut
be,
is brutal, man.
but
What if you
yeah,
cut this weight tonight? Oh,
really.
yeah.
How many fights total were tonight?
There were 7 on the main card and one, two, three, four, five. I think there were like 12 fights total with the
12
prelims,
fights
but yeah.
before four missed weight.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems normal. That doesn't seem too out of the ordinary.
UFC's strict on that shit, bro. So
I know
usually
UFC
nobody
does.
does that shit.
Don't they do like a 1 pound 1 pound leeway? Because I know a lot of guys like it's like a 1 pound over mark, and
Yeah,
some
they'll
guys
give
come
you.
in. Yeah, they'll give you 1 pound, and they'll technically classify you as you made weight, right?
Yep, you can go 1 pound over, 1 pound under.
Listen, if the UFC ever sees this, if anything like that ever happens, and the guy that I just talked about, the bodybuilder, the young bodybuilder that supposedly wants to go to the MMA circuit in August and fight at 205, 5'11", 240. I would listen. People would pay money to see that. Real people would want to pay money to say, you know why? Everyone's dream is to see how the big muscle head does in a fight. You're
Right.
never going to see that in boxing unless it's heavyweight, because guys at heavyweight are only ones that can pack muscle. I mean, anything below that's not happening. But in MMA, you see a lot of those bigger muscled guys, and this dude is about to hit the scene. You know, he seems pretty adamant. I've been checking with him constantly, and he's linking up with a couple of coaches out there just for striking alone. I think that he practices his wrestling with a couple of decent jiu-jitsu guys, but when that happens, when we get off, and I let you know who it is, so you probably do know. Um, Bro, I'd be excited to see that. I'd be excited to see what people would say this to see that match.
Hell
It'd
yeah.
be like the ultimate musclehead versus like a fighter match.
Yeah, it really would be. It's
Remember
like,
Bully Beatdown?
yes, I do remember Bully Beatdown.
It's like Bully Beatdown.
Totally. It's like a Fucking Hoist Gracie versus Ken Shamrock.
There you go. Well,
Almost.
I would, yeah. See, this is the thing though. So this dude's gonna fight at 205,
Yeah.
and he's a
So
bodybuilder.
it's
He's 5'11". But the guys at 205 are built like they're built. A lot of the guys at 205 that I see in the UFC alone look like they belong as a tight end in the NFL.
oh yeah, no doubt, bro.
They're that
No
big.
fucking doubt.
I mean, Reyes alone. When I saw I mean, Jones was always an anomaly.
Yeah.
Jones was always the the special one in that division. But when I saw Reese come up, Gustafson was also another big boy in that division. But Reese, his athleticism, his size, and all that. I mean, there's no way you'd be able to compete at light heavyweight if you didn't have the height,
Yeah, true.
and you need speed now. I mean, it's a crazy division to even want to attempt to be in. Doesn't matter how big you are. And my friend saying 205, I mean, it gave me a heart attack. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Fuck that.
205? I was like, you're crazy. I was like, because I know the differences between bodybuilding and fighting, and there's no way that sport, those two, I'm sorry, I can't call bodybuilding a sport. There's no way that pageantry can transition into the combat sport of MMA
Right.
easily.
No, it's gonna be difficult.
Being a football player and transitioning to MMA is easy. It's not easy, but it's manageable.
Yeah, Greg Hardy did it. Dominic Reyes.
Reyes,
A
yeah.
couple
I
of
mean,
the
there's
people.
plenty. Shit, I mean, fuck. Remember Herschel Walker?
Yep.
I mean, dude, you got plenty of these big. I mean, who else? There's Matt Mitrione. Most of them are all heavyweights, obviously. I mean, most of them are all big boys, but I can't imagine that. And as fucked up as it sounds, if my friend really is going to take this fight for Tough Enough in Las Vegas in August, you best believe, whether I have a fight or not, around that time, I will come out there to see
Oh
it.
hell yeah, dude. We gotta go. I'll
We
go to
gotta
that
go.
shit. I'll
We
go to
gotta
that
go.
shit. No doubt.
And I highly suggest uh, any organization to see something like this, man, because you want some WWE-esque stars in MMA. You want guys that you go, this is crazy. And if this bodybuilder friend of mine can pull it off, hey man, all positive vibes and success to him.
Yeah,
But in the back of my mind, do I think that it's going to end badly? Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
first round
Do I?
knockout.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna
Not
get
even
choked out.
choked out.
Backpacked and choked
That's what
out.
I'm saying. It's going to get. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen at plenty of gyms alone, and I've
Backpacked
seen
and
it
choked
happen.
out.
The backpack chokeout, man. The the rear naked that just looks so easy, just too
That's
easy.
right.
You're just like, is this? Huh? I mean, his anomaly is his wrestling, so I'll give him that.
Let's see how many rear naked chokes there were today. That's a KO. That's a KO. That's a KO. One. I think there's at least two or three. Yeah, there's two or three. Vettori got one. Fucking this chick. Uh, uh, I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this. It's Agapova. Oh, Agapova. There we go. I didn't butcher that shit. I got that. She
No,
got a
you
rear
didn't.
naked
You
choke.
didn't. You good? Yeah, there you go.
And I think that was it. See, this is what I get for getting too stoned, man. My eyes are so fucking. Bro, they're slits. They're
Yep.
barely fucking open.
You're looking real cheeky right now.
But after this, I'm gonna smoke more, no doubt.
Oh man, what is that? What is that you're smoking? Is that a sativa or is that a hybrid?
No, it's indica, but I have a sativa that I'm smoking. It's the Hendo Cream. That
Nice.
shit, that shit's fire.
Where'd you get that from?
I got them both from Essence.
Nice. Shout out to the plug out there in Essence,
Yep,
hooking
Essence
it
is
up with
dope,
the
man.
cookies.
They got the cookies too. The only fucking place in Vegas that has cookies is Essence.
Are you gonna get more of that cookies?
Well, eventually, yeah. But right now, I'm digging the fucking $100 half. You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Vegas
That's
is true. Vegas is doing well.
Yeah, they're starting to come down on pricing. It's nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. How's everything out in the city though, man? With the protesting and all that. Have you seen any of that, or have you read anything about that? I think it's kind of
Nope.
calmed down on Vegas though.
Yeah, it's starting to calm down. But
Yeah.
I did see that cop that got shot. He's still alive, man. He survived,
Yeah.
but he is
I heard.
paralyzed.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Was he shot in the head?
No, he shot in the back of the neck, I think, and it like lodged.
Man,
Yeah, just lodged in there.
man. Well, I hope everything goes well with his recovery. I mean, it's hard to say, if it's going to be. Is it permanent?
Uh, I'm not sure. I hope not,
Damn,
bro.
that's crazy. What a what Vegas can be unpredictable, man.
Yeah,
In regards
unforgiving.
to, yeah. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people there. I know a lot of people on all sides, east side, north side. Obviously, the west side and the southwest is where we were at,
Yep,
and where I lived at for a little while. And it's hard to say, man. I mean, a lot of crazy things can happen out there. It's a weird city.
it is. You don't expect that shit, but
No, you
definitely
don't.
happen
You
very
don't.
quickly.
Very quickly, man. Man, that's. eh. I gotta come out there. No, I'm just kidding. So I gotta come out to Vegas now.
For real.
Just kidding. I'll only come out there for training. Best training. Best
Oh yeah.
training. And dude, are you gonna is there any striking that you're gonna try to get coached on? Does this
Uh,
does this gym that you're at, do they provide that?
no, not this one, but I think I'm gonna go to Extreme for that.
Ooh, okay, there you go. Extreme
Yeah.
Couture.
Mm,
Uh, I know
I'm
another
de
friend out there,
uh,
Chris
I'm
Thompson.
I'm debating on kickboxing or Muay Thai though. I don't know which one to do.
Really not too much differences.
I
I mean,
could I
Muay
could do
Thai,
both. Honestly, I could do both.
yeah. Well, Muay Thai, you're just gonna learn
Elbows.
elbows, 6 point striking. I mean, it can get crazy. I took a couple of sessions at Vanderlei Silva's gym before they moved locations, their original One Fight Team location, and that's when they had Rafael Cordero as their, because he does like a, if I'm not mistaken, he does like a black belt system
Mm,
for his Muay Thai. And obviously, we all know, everyone knows who he is now because he's holding mitts for Mike Tyson.
yep.
He's the man. He's the man wearing that bodysuit and holding those mitts.
Hmm.
And yeah, I took a couple of classes there. His assistant coach, Michael Costa, big time MMA fighter out of Brazil. I don't think he ever fought for the UFC, but he fought in a couple of organizations, and he's a pretty legit dude. He's like Vanderlei Silva's right hand man back in the day, and uh, they used to just have these crazy Muay Thai sessions, like Muay Thai open sparring on Saturdays at their gym. And I used to see Vanderlei Silva just, ask people whether they're guys that are already sparring, taking breaks in between rounds, or other pro fighters on his team at the time. But he would just pick them out round by round. And I remember I was sitting there, and there was this kid, had to be, I was 21 no, 20 at the time. And this kid that was sitting down already had some gear on. It was this little blonde kid, looked like he belonged, behind a computer desk. He's just your average looking Joe.
Yeah.
And he picks him out, and the kid was all geared up. And he goes to town on this kid. Vanderlei Silva goes to town on this kid, dude, for 2 rounds straight. The kid was tough. He was actually an amateur fighter. He was like an amateur
Oh shit. Hey,
kickboxer.
bro, they're about to kick us off in 40 seconds. It says 40 seconds remaining. We might have to end this one, hop back on real quick.
All right.
So
All
if you
right.
want to keep going, we'll wrap this video up and then we'll just do another one.
Awesome. Is there like a limit to this?
I don't know. I didn't think
That's
so. I thought we could
crazy.
sit on here for hours, but well,
We're
here.
going
Well,
to. No, I'm kidding.
this is part one. Wrapping
Part
up
one.
part one right here. Be right
Wrapping up
back.
part one. We'll be back for part two.
Peace.